How's it going, guys? And welcome back to the LAIR. And today we're going to be trying our luck at the Friday Night Magic at Home Historic Brawl event. I think I've come up with something pretty spicy here. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Call this Eldest Death. So our commander is going to be LILIANA Untouched by Death for 2 colorless and 2 swamp. She comes in at 4 loyalty. Her +1 ability says, put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard. If at least one of them is a zombie card, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. And then her -2 ability says, target creature gets -X until the end of turn, where X is the number of zombies you control. And then her -3 ability says, you may cast zombie spells from your graveyard this turn. So she's our commander. I feel like it was a good slot for, I don't want to have a really expensive commander. I feel like it's just right, especially for what we have going on in this deck, you'll see. So on our 1-drops, I have 1 copy of Digraph Ghoul for 1 swamp, 2/2. Digraph Ghoul enters the battlefield tapped. 1 copy of Foulmire Knight for 1 swamp. Hold on, is Knight of the Ebon Legion? He's a vampire. Okay, I just had a brain fart there. Anyways, Foulmire Knight, he has the 1/1 Death Touch, and then his instant side is Profane Insight, which is 2 colorless and 1 swamp. It's an instant adventure. You draw a card and lose 1 life. 1 copy of Shadow Spear, which is 1 colorless legendary artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has trample and lifelink. And then we can pay 1 colorless and permanents. Your opponents control lose hexproof and indestructible until the end of turn, and we can equip it for 2 colorless. Onto our 2-drops, 1 copy of Discordant Piper for 1 colorless, 1 swamp. He's also a zombie, 2/1, and when Discordant Piper dies, create a 0/1 white goat creature token. 1 copy of Doomed Dissenter for 1 colorless and 1 swamp. He's a 1/1. When Doomed Dissenter dies, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. 1 copy of Eternal Taskmaster for 1 colorless and 1 swamp. He's a 2/3 zombie, enters the battlefield tapped, and when Eternal Taskmaster attacks, we may pay 2 and a swamp. If you do, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. I have 1 copy of Lazotep Reaver for 1 colorless, 1 swamp. He's also a zombie, 1/2, and when Lazotep Reaver enters the battlefield, we amass 1. I have 1 copy of Walking Corpse for 1 colorless, 1 swamp. He's a zombie, 2/2. 1 copy of Graveyard Marshal for 2 swamp. He's a 3/2, and then we can pay 2 and a swamp, exile a creature card from your graveyard, and create a tapped 2/2 black zombie creature token. 1 copy of Cast Down, which is 1 colorless, 1 swamp. Instant, destroy target non-legendary creature. 1 copy of Dreadhorde Invasion for 1 colorless, 1 swamp. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life and amass 1. And whenever a zombie token you control with power 6 or greater attacks, it gains lifelink until the end of turn. 1 copy of Walk the Plank for 2 swamp. So sorcery, destroy target non-merfolk creature. Hopefully don't run into a lot of merfolks. Onto our 3-drops, I have 1 copy of Midnight Reaper for 2 colorless, 1 swamp. Is also a zombie, 3/2. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, Midnight Reaper deals 1 damage to you and you draw a card. 1 copy of Rotting Regisaur for 2 colorless and 1 swamp, also a zombie, 7/6. At the beginning of your upkeep, you discard a card. Vizier of the Scorpion for 2 colorless and 1 swamp. He's also a zombie, 1/1. Whenever Vizier of the Scorpion enters the battlefield, we amass 1. Zombie tokens you control have Death Touch. 1 Arisen Gorgon for 1 colorless and 2 swamp. She's also a zombie, 3/3, and Arisen Gorgon has Death Touch as long as you control a Liliana Planeswalker. 1 copy of Death Baron for 1 colorless and 2 swamp. He's also a zombie, 2/2. Skeletons you control and other zombies you control get +1/+1 and have Death Touch. 1 copy of Murderous Rider for 1 colorless and 2 swamp. He's also a zombie, 2/3 lifelink. When Murderous Rider dies, put it on the bottom of its owner's library. And then his adventure side, Swift End, is an instant. For 1 colorless and 2 swamp, we can destroy target creature or planeswalker and we lose 2 life. Oh yes, Phylactery Lich for 3 swamp. He's a 5/5 zombie, indestructible, as Phylactery Lich enters the battlefield. Put a Phylactery counter on an artifact you control. When you control no permanents with Phylactery counters on them, you sacrifice Phylactery Lich. We have 1 copy of Murder for 1 colorless and 2 swamp. It's an instant, destroy target creature. I have 1 Heraldic Banner for 3 colorless, which is an artifact. As Heraldic Banner enters the battlefield, we choose a color, which we'd be choosing black, and creatures you control of the chosen color get +1/+0, and then we can add 1 mana of any color. We have 1 Icon of Ancestry for 3 colorless. This is also an artifact. As Icon of Ancestry enters the battlefield, you choose a creature type. Creatures you control of the chosen type get +1/+1, and then we can pay 3, tap it, and look at the top 3 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card of the chosen type from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. On to our 4 drops. I have 1 copy of Gravedigger for 3 colorless and 1 swamp. He's a 2/2, also zombie. When Gravedigger enters the battlefield, you may return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. I have 1 copy of Herald of the Dreadhorde for 3 colorless and 1 swamp. He's a 3/2, also a zombie, and when he enters the battlefield, when he dies, we amass 2. I have 1 copy of Infectious Horror for 3 colorless and 1 swamp. He's also a zombie, 2/2, and whenever Infectious Horror attacks, each opponent loses 2 life. I have 1 copy of, Jasu Ves, Lich Knight for 2 colorless and 2 swamp. He's also a zombie, 4/5 with menace, and if we kick him for 5 colorless and 1 swamp, when Jasu Ves Lich Knight enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, we create 8 2/2 black zombie knight creature tokens with menace. I have 1 copy of Eat to Extinction for 3 colorless and a swamp. It's an instant, exile target creature or planeswalker. Look at the top card of your library. You may put that card into your graveyard. And I have 1 copy of Vraska's Contempt. Gosh, I missed this card. For 2 colorless and 2 swamp. Is an instant, exile target creature or planeswalker. You gain 2 life. On to our 5 drops. I have 1 copy of Grey Merchant of Asphodel for 3 colorless and 2 swamp. He's a 2/4, also zombie. When Grey Merchant of Asphodel enters the battlefield, each opponent loses X life, where X is your devotion to black, and you gain life equal to the life lost this way. 1 copy, of The Eldest Reborn for 4 colorless and 1 swamp is a saga. The first part of the saga says each opponent sacrifices a creature or a planeswalker. The second part of the saga says each opponent discards a card. And then the final part of the saga says put target creature or planeswalker card from a graveyard, not just yours, could be the opponent's as well, onto the battlefield under your control. I have 1 copy of Open the Graves for 3 colorless and 2 swamps. Enchantment, whenever a non-token creature you control dies, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. And we finally have 1 copy of Vanquisher's Banner for 5 colorless as another artifact. As Vanquisher's Banner enters the battlefield, choose a creature type, which we would name zombie. Creatures you control of the chosen type get +1/+1, and whenever you cast a creature spell of the chosen type, we draw a card. And then finally on our top end, I have 1 copy of Liliana Dreadhorde General for 4 colorless and 2 swamp. She comes in with 6 loyalty, and her static ability says whenever a creature you control dies, we draw a card. Her +1 ability says create a 2/2 black zombie creature token, and then her -4 says each player sacrifices 2 creatures, and then her -9 says each opponent chooses a permanent they control of each permanent type and sacrifices the rest. I have 1 Lotleth Giant for 6 colorless and 1 swamps, also a zombie. He comes in 6/5. Undergrowth, whenever Lotleth Giant enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to target opponent for each creature card in your graveyard. And then finally, a Cauldron of Eternity for 10 colorless and 2 swamp is also an artifact. This spell costs 2 less to cast for each creature card in your graveyard, and whenever a creature you control dies, put it on the bottom of its owner's library. And then we can pay 2 in a swamp, tap, pay 2 life, and return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Activate this ability only anytime you could cast a sorcery. So basically, we're all running all zombies besides Doomed Dissenter, which turns into a zombie. We're just going to flood the board with zombies. We're going to get recurring value with Liliana by bringing zombies back. We can also benefit from our -2 because we should have quite a few zombies on the board. And then if we can plus her enough, we can -3 and then cast zombie spells from our graveyard. We also have cards like Eternal Taskmaster and Graveyard Marshal to recur threats. And then we have our amass cards to amass. Hopefully, if we have a Dreadhorde on, we can attack with a big zombie token that has Death Touch and Lifelink and Trample. And then I put in a couple different artifacts that benefit everything and kind of have a little bit of synergy to work with Phylactery Lich. Hopefully we'll have at least one artifact out if we draw this card. This card can be bestial. And then we have some of our removal. Vanquisher's Banner helps us draw cards. Liliana helps us draw cards. Icon of Ancestry helps us dig for cards. Grey Merchant Asphodel is our life gain synergy with our Dreadhorde Invasion. And what else? Open the Grave helps us put more zombies on the board. Another artifact for Phylactery Lich, which also helps us recur threats. Lothlife Giant is a nice game ender. Liliana helps us draw cards, can also be a game ender. So yeah, that's the basis of the deck. Let's get into the mana base. That's some exciting stuff here. So I have one copy of Cable Stronghold, which we can tap for one colorless, or we can pay 3, tap, and add 1 swamp for each basic swamp you control. One copy of Castle Locktwain. Castle Locktwain enters the battlefield tapped. Unless you control a swamp, we can tap it for a swamp, or we can pay 1 and pay 2 swamp, tap, and draw a card, and we lose life equal to the number of cards in our hand. One Memorial to Folly enters the battlefield tapped. We can tap it for a swamp, or we can pay 2 and a swamp, tap, sacrifice Memorial to Folly, and return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. I'm running 14 swamp. One Witch's Cottage. Witch's Cottage enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 3 or more other swamps. And then when Witch's Cottage enters the battlefield untapped, you may put target creature card from your graveyard on top of your library, and then we can tap it for swamp. I have one Command Tower, which we can tap and add 1 mana in our commander's identity, which is black. One Field of Ruin, we can tap for colorless, or we can pay 2, tap, sacrifice Field of Ruin, and destroy target non-basic land an opponent controls. Each player searches their library for a basic land card, puts that onto the battlefield, and then shuffles their library. And one copy of Field of the Dead. Yes, I just had to do it. Originally, I was just running a bunch of swamps and Cabal Stronghold, Castle Locktwain, and I was like, fuck it, let's just throw this in here. So Field of the Dead comes into play tapped. We can we can tap it for colorless mana. And whenever Field of the Dead or another land enters the battlefield, if you control 7 or more lands with different names, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. One copy of Reliquary Tower. You have no maximum hand size. We can tap it for colorless. One Unclaimed Territory, which we can name zombie and either add colorless, or if we spend it on a zombie card, we can add 1 black. And then finally, one Zephyrin Void enters the battlefield. We can scry 1 and we can tap it for colorless. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to try this deck out. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. Called this Eldest Death. We're rocking the Elspeth Nightmare sleeve. We have a 3.4 converted mana cost with 21 creatures, and I'm running 24 lands. So let's go ahead and get into it. As always, if you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. It's free to you and it helps us out so much. Also, drop me a comment. I check the comments daily. Anything, strategy, deck ideas, misplays, anything like that. And also, lastly, if you have a friend that enjoys Magic, please share the channel with them. Trying to reach out to as many people as I can. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into it and see how we do. Admiral Beckett Brass. Hate that damn card. Alright, so we have a 2-lander here. We do have both that can become untapped. I have a Gravedigger, a Dreadhorde, a Falmar Knight. I think we can keep this. Let's keep this. This is a free-to-play event anyway, so I'm not stressing anything. We're just here to have fun. Okay. Pick up a Discordant Piper. I'm going to go ahead and play that out. Thought Erasure. Captain. Whenever Traveling Captain attacks, if you control another non-token pirate, you may pay 2. If you do, create a 2/2 black creature token with menace. Okay. Oh, we got Field of the Dead. Oh, I mean, we have to play that, right? I think I'm going to wait till next turn. Arena, nice. I was thinking about putting that card in my deck. Pick up another land, that's great. I think I just murdered this card. I don't want him getting value out of that. Tap. Attack him. Okay. I think we're going to do the Profane Insight here. Phylactery Lich, nice. Get this out. Flying Raid. The spell costs 1 less to cast if you attack the creature. Okay. Opponent has flyers, so I don't want to play out my phylactery. I'm sorry, my 3/2. I guess we do Midnight Reaper here. Opponent's drawing a shitload of cards, but he's taking some damage, that's for sure. Death Touch. Whenever third word Brawler deals combat, if you receive Blessing, or card. Doesn't make sense to play Liliana just yet. Okay. Just gonna keep going on in here because we have our Gravedigger to recur anything. Cool. There's the land we were looking for. 3, 4, 5. Three or more. I am so good with that. think I have to be. I think I have to be defensive here. Immortal Sunrise. Good game. Opponent got extreme value with Phyrexian Arena and was able to kill us before we could go off. Alright. On to the next one. That Immortal Sun definitely did us in there. Maurice 420 rocking the Jace, Wielder of Mysteries. We've got a nice 3-lander here. We've got a Shadow Spear and a Phylactery Lich and an Open Graves. This looks fantastic. We're definitely going to be keeping this. No, I'm good. We'll keep this. Enchantment, so he's probably Drowned Secrets. Sailor, okay. I think I'm just going to equip to the Reaver, and I think I'm going to wait to play the Insight part of this deck. We'll just go in with the Reaver. Creatures and enchantments you control have spells your opponent's cast. Target spell plus one cast. So here I'm going to use the Profane Insight. That's nice. I'm going to name Zombie, of course. Play out. Attacks. Cool. I guess no attacks. Mindful Sprite. Okay. Swamp, it's great. Yeah, open graves. No attacks. 5.
We could figure a way out of this. How you play the hand you're dealt.
I guess that's the only thing that this deck's gonna be suffering from is flyers. 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna attack in with just our amass. Oh, he does want to trade. Cool. Three, 4, 5, 6. There's insight. Stuff's been Folly. Okay. Here, because I'm not really worried about them dying. Just trying to tick down Jace. Because we still get a value from Open the Graves, so it's fine. Yeah, think about it. He's just gonna take it. No, he's not.
Don't test.
It's fine. Okay, you can just keep popping at my hand all day, man. Cool. Cool. Opponent's just burning through his... You got something else? Alright.
Always an answer.
Okay, I'm coming in next turn. Tap. Okay. Infectious Horror. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 more off from Jasu Vess. Cool. Get our Field of the Dead. Feels bad. Don't care. Okay. Correct. Jace, correct.
Well played.
Shadow Spear put in the work here. Probably looking for a counter spell, one on top, 2 on the bottom. Apprentice. Opponent's hitting all of our value cards. Icon of Ancestry is nice. Got a name Zombie, of course. I think I'm just going to activate Icon here. Guess we took the digraph. Look at that. It's going to happen, man. It's going to happen. Back up to 20. And then we can start hitting the face. Opponent has to use the majority of his mana to recast Jace, as long as you're transfer your card. Cool idea. Thing is, it's really hard. You know, you could just get the right lands. I mean, it is what it is, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. worry, man. I'm coming in next turn. Creature or enchanted permanent is an enchantment and loses all other types. Okay, cool. Don't know if that was the right thing to do that to, but sure. So opponent is getting very, very lucky. Gravedigger's nice. Let's play that. Okay. We bring back Phylactery Lich. And in the meantime, I'm going to equip onto Digraph. Okay. I'm only going to attack in with him, him, and him. Thank you, baby. Correct. Back up to 20. I'm assuming the opponent has a counter spell in his hand, even though it's hard to believe he gets a counter spell every time to play a card, considering you can only play one copy of each card. But
You said Gigi likes this. Gigi, what's your formatter?
is that sweet?
I'm not sure. I just saw Lebanon. You said Gigi likes
It
it.
has to be sweet. I drank it
Oh?
the other day. Four, five, six, 7, 8. Cool. This guy is just... Okay, so it's as good as a time as any to play Liliana.
There to meet my
Minus from
backup.
this.
You're outnumbered.
Okay. Play the Phylactery Lich. I don't know why he's protecting him.
one I will remember.
See if the opponent can mill me before I kill him. Got 18 damage on the board right now. Cool.
It's a matter of give and take.
And fuck yourself. What a piece of shit. Alright, on to the next one. Fucking scumbag. Alright, let's see if we can play a normal deck. If not, I have a backup deck ready to go. Sinful Monk. With a Chulane. So we have one draw, two. We'll mulligan. This looks much better. We will drop the oh, I didn't even have to. Excellent. Once again, I want to try and get the value out of Falmar before I play him. There's a Dread Horde. We'll draw a card. Cabal Stronghold is nice. Beat Guard Mage. Stronghold here. Let's go ahead and play Dread Horde and let's play Lazatep. Okay. 4. I'm good. Just go in with you two. Nah, screw it. We'll go in with everything. And leave up the Falmar for Charming Prince friend here. Goose. Okay. Play Graves here. Alright, fuck this. I'm switching to my mono red. Apparently zombies aren't gonna do it for us. Alright, let's see how they like this shit. So I'm running out of time, so I'm just going to go ahead and play. Call this one Immolate Your Life. Guess this deck's all about being lucky, or this event's all about being lucky anyways. Oh fuck, Winota. That's a piece of shit there. Who does that? Has to be a non-human attacking. So that's my strategy, kill all non-humans. Weird. Play it. Cheap. He's human, so I'm not really worried about him. To kill you, unfortunately. And fuck yourself. Wow. Apparently I suck. So, let's try one more, I guess. I don't know. This is brutal. We thought the zombies would be better than they were. But I keep forgetting that this deck is all about luck, so I guess I'm having bad luck today. Yeah, let's keep this. Excellent. Oh, nice. Okay, I think we do you. That's a neat trick. He beats out the extra casting cost of his commander by adding more. Cool. All right, let's see how he likes this. Oh my god, I can't believe it. We finally won one. Finally, a Perforos. This is a card that I really wanted for a long time, but I never wanted to spend the mythic rare on it. I think after today, I'm tired of getting my ass kicked. I'm going to spend some wild cards on Winota and just do the Winota Steal Your Life deck. So let's go ahead and play one more. Try and win this event all the way before time's up. Ooh. Kinnan. Wild Bond or something. Let's keep this. Why not? Whenever you tap a non-land permanent for mono, add 1 mana, any type that permanent produced. God, I wish my stomach would stop hurting. Our boy Krinko. Don't think I want this happening here. So that. Non-land permanent. Okay. So he's got 3 mana here. Three, 4, 5, 6. 1 off from that. Parcel Beast. 4. Oof. Beautiful. So I'm gonna lava coil him. And there, go. Trying to slow him down. I don't want him activating that ability. Okay. Cool. I don't think he'll be attacking this time. Briar Engineer. Okay, cool. So what's the play here? I think it's Chandra time.
Stay back.
And,
I'm an explosively good pyromancer.
5. Get rid of this powerful piece of shit.
Got a burning desire.
Go
to finish
in.
You.
Effect. Top 5 cards of your library, putting non-human creature card from one onto the battlefield. Maybe not.
I am Scala's vengeance, and I'm coming for you next. I'd get out of the way if I were you.
He doesn't attack. Why? Well, I will definitely plus for sure.
Oh, looks like someone's getting a little sweaty.
Let's show him the Drax stats, guys. How about that? Now he's on the clock, even if he gets rid of Chandra. I was thinking he was going to minus her and deal damage to target Planeswalker. Don't care about that. Draco's about to come in and fuck this guy's whole life up.
The land fights for us.
Yep. More damage to target.
My, how you've grown.
Beautiful. No, he's too valuable. We'll go ahead and do this. And fortunately, I think I have to. Go back in the command zone's fine.
I always
Correct.
wanted to make a really big fireball.
Don't want him doing that again. And can we ignore? I think we just ignore it. Fuck it. Get right. I mean, you gonna cast them again? Spark double what? Spark double a Lotus Field? Pretty interesting, but you got bigger problems to deal with, man. Yeah, that was the right move. I had to sack Chandra. Got him. All right. Well, thanks for sticking around. It's a longer than usual episode. Kind of disappointed the zombies didn't really put in the work, but Immolate Your Life did. Got another Charm Troll, so I think I finally got 4 of those. Let's open up some packs here. Give me a Winota. Ruinous Ultimatum. Alright, well that's all I've got for you guys today. Like always, if you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. It's free to you and helps the channel out so much. Feel free to comment on video, misplay, strategy, deck ideas, and if you have any friends that are interested in Magic, please share the channel with them. Until tomorrow, you guys have a good day.